Welcome to the great city of Tenino.
It is a great city.
I've been saying this since 1996.
96.
Can we all remember to keep our microphones on too, so we don't miss anything?
Yep.
We miss anything on us.
Don't have Ronnie here to watch this and just text you.
I actually
The
gotta
one
take my
people
own
like
notes.
is non-debatable one.
Oh, does she take notes from home? Is that what she does? Like she
Yeah.
does? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's why she likes to be able to hear, because she,
Can't hear her. She can't take notes. I thought she was just watching because she.
I had to eat $2,000 one time because I made a mistake.
What?
Left me $100 on commission. Never made that mistake again. But I made it up on a roof. Didn't know how to measure a roof. Never sold a roof before. Had $4,000 in my pocket. The guy was an old merchant marine, so I talked to him like.
I'll just call it to order at 7 o'clock and we can start the flag
This is
salute
just-
stuff.
yeah.
Hopefully he'll
Yep.
jump in there at the.
yeah.
This
I
is,
just did.
this is just exactly what we talked about the other day.
Basically,
Yeah.
nothing different really too much.
No.
Yes.
Best in the county.
Okay, it's 7 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order, the special city council meeting Tuesday, May 7th. Please stand for the flag salute. Oh.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I usually don't wear a hat when I come here. I forget that I had a hat on. Okay, first order of business is approval of the agenda. We have one item that we can talk about.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. So we have on our agenda the change order for the Ag Park North Building HVAC. We talked about this at our last meeting, and I'll just start by saying I apologize to the council and to all the people involved. I probably should have thought about having somebody from the project here to talk about this. I didn't think about, so in the future, when if we have change orders, I'll make sure we at least get something in writing and try to make sure we have somebody that can answer, more involved with the details of the project, so we won't get to this spot again. So my apologies to all of you for that, and I'll try to do better in the future.
Thank you, Mayor.
So with that, we will start. We had a change order for $96,175.65, as we talked about the last meeting. This was for a piece of equipment that was not included in the bid originally. It was, they forgot to put this piece of equipment, if I understand right, but we have Mike Marshall and Josh Taylor and
Elite mechanic.
Elite Mechanical on the computer here that can answer any questions that we have on this. So I will open the floor. Well, I guess first we need to make a motion like we did last time, and then we can have discussion on the subject. So if anybody wants to make a motion.
Have your discussion, I'll move approval.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the change order for $96,175.65. Is there any discussion? So let's start at the end. Yeah, let us go down the line, and you can ask any questions here.
Certainly.
Hopefully they can hear you. Make sure your mic's on.
Can I get the letter for reference, please?
Okay. This one.
Yes, thank you.
Did you disseminate that email I sent?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, they have it right now.
Okay, good.
This is
So thank you for
high-tech AV.
sending a little additional information for us. I'm sure you can understand the surprise and shock to be presented with a change order that increases the HVAC by about a third with no And as the mayor mentioned, I'm all for having the information go back and forth before it actually comes to the council so we can ask questions. And I know I always have questions when it comes to construction because I love construction and building things. My concern with on the last meeting was where the change order was coming from. The thought that if it was supposed to be in the original build out for the main shell, then, you know, it should have been included in the bid. And I understand from the letter it was inadvertently left off. And that construction, that can happen. I guess one of the concerns with leaving it off and adding it later on is that this huge chunk of the HVAC never got to be part of the public bid, and the Tenino taxpayer never got the benefit of competitive bidding on that. In your letter, you mentioned that you believe it's a fair. Am I talking to Michael here?
All of them?
Okay. That you believe it's a fair price that we're getting for the equipment and labor and such to add this to the order. How did you determine that?
Based on the input I got from the HVAC, the mechanical designer.
Okay.
There's not a lot of experience with these types of equipment, which frankly I don't.
That's I don't.
Also, I can add to that. Before J.A. Morris was hired, we were directed to solicit bids for the north building as Dragon Building and GC. So I had 3 separate bids that were north of even adding this $96,000 to Elite's Mechanical's bid, anywhere from $500,000 to $675 with the complete system. So Elite's number is very, very competitive based on those 3 other bids: Sunset Air, Performance Mechanical Group, and Blue Mountain Mechanical. We're all north of even adding this $96,000. So.
Okay, that's good. My concern was we'd have had a close bid, and it was supposed to have been in there. And adding this, we'd no longer have the low bidder. So thank you for protecting us with that. And I presume at this point it's gone through the normal submittal process. We know we're getting the equipment that meets has the quality of the Mitsubishis and what, as opposed to lesser quality models. That's gone through the submittal process, correct? So we know what we're getting for this money.
It has not been submitted on as of yet, but it will meet specifications.
Okay, and we're going to get.
Cassie and Chad could speak to that nature as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you. What else do I have here? Yeah, I had an opportunity to talk to the architect, which was very helpful in helping me understand how this was split out. I understand because we have different grants from different entities that the project was chopped up into pieces to match all that, the various sources of money. Is that correct? Do I understand that correctly? I mean, how do we end up splitting this off instead of just having the main project all as one general contractor, one contract?
Because we were aiming to save as much money as we could by the 10 to 12% markup from GC.
Okay, all right. Great. I think that's about all I have. At this point, we're back on track. We're going to get the equipment we need at a price that protects the taxpayers in Tenino. I have no further questions.
I don't have any questions.
And thank you
For that.
Yeah. How you doing, Mike? This is John O'Callahan. I don't remember if you've heard some of my resume in the past. One of them is that I used to sell this kind of stuff quite often, especially in my youth. When I made a mistake like this, I ended up eating it. The first one that I had to eat was really small in comparison. It was only $2,000. And it was my fault. I could not assume that the buyer understood exactly where everything was going. The people on this board are not construction people except for Jeff, and he's new. He wasn't here during these contracts to look at it and say, hey, something's missing. I didn't see anything missing. I don't think anybody else here saw anything missing. How come that got missed?
What was that?
Is that a game? Is that a baseball game? So you go- tell me how it
Did
goes.
you hear me, Mike?
Yeah,
Okay. How did that get missed? That's a giant miss. You know, I understand about the pricing and all that stuff now afterwards, and that we got a good deal on it, but that's not the point. The point is, how did that get missed? Knowing that the people on this board are not into construction.
well, I think it was just a misunderstanding of when it got pieced down, then it was assumed it would be part of the kitchen improvement. And it's not. And we need it now so that the system can be operational to get their certificate of occupancy.
Oh, I understand that part. The part I don't understand.
How it got missed, I don't know.
You know, because one of the first things that I learned when I started selling this stuff is not to assume. Assume digs into your pocket. Now you're digging into our pocket by almost $100,000 of money that we don't have. There was a guy, Robert Moss. Do you know who Robert Moss is? Robert Moss helped build all of the major highways from New York City up to Coney Island and all of those parts in there. Okay? You know the way they did it? He just got the council to say yes. He spiked the first thing, and when the overages come, council had no choice but to say yes, continue on. That's the position that I feel that we're in right now. That we were told one thing, and it was like, hey, once it started, if we need anything else, they don't have a choice but to say yes. And I've seen that happen many, many times, and that's the position that I feel that we're in right now.
We pretty much are, otherwise you're gonna delay opening the building until fall. Right now, we still have Labor Day in sight, but if it keeps getting delayed, it's gonna push it out into the fall. Yeah, I understand your frustration.
More like anger, but thank you.
Ma'am? Ma'am?
No, I don't have any questions.
Nope. I'll just say, I understand what happened, and I appreciate you all showing up to answer the questions, and we'll move forward here and hopefully get everything back on track. And like I don't know if you were all here when I said it, but I take responsibility partly for this, because this should have happened probably at our regular meeting, so somebody here that knew the details more than I did could explain it better. So in the future, when we have changes, I will make sure that we have somebody available that can explain clearly why the changes need to be made and stuff. And so hopefully we won't get in this position again. And again, my apologies to everybody for not thinking of that, especially when it's a big one like this. You know, it's not just some $2,000 or $3,000 thing. So I'll try to do better in the future. It's my bad. So
Well, there is gonna be another one on electrical that I just sent over to Jen
yeah,
this afternoon.
we understand. So we'll have to deal with that one, and we'll make sure somebody's here to discuss what it is and why it happened. So we'll deal with that one at our next regular meeting. So thank you again for all of you for taking the time to be here. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
No
Yeah.
problem.
All right, are we dismissing them?
No, Josh, I'd like to speak to Josh.
Josh?
Is that the other person we have here?
Yeah, Josh is over here. Yep.
Thank you for joining us, sir. A question on the product. If we don't have a submittal, and I understand what is the status of the final mechanical for the kitchen? Has that been approved yet, or is it still in process?
The majority has been approved, other than the DOAS unit that we're requesting as of now. Yeah, we wouldn't submit on it unless it's on the table, so to speak.
Okay.
It's
So-
not paperwork we have to process where the architect would have to review, something. We don't want to spend that extra money on review time unless it's noted and needed.
Understood, but I kind of goes back to the question, do we know what we're getting for our money if no equipment's been specified yet? And I know we have specifications on the,
There
Okay, but they're still
I'm
not,
just gonna throw a Honeywell, it's gonna be, I can't speak to the brand exactly, but Cassie and Chad can speak to it, but it does meet specs.
okay, and not knowing what we're actually getting yet, or do they, but they haven't submitted, is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay, so they've already checked.
We'll submit as soon as, I'm sure they have the product data on hand right now on.
Hey, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Chad, the mechanical project manager out there. Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's a Renew Air DOAS, and it's just like the DOAS 1 that's serving the rest of the building.
Okay, thank you. And lead times are an issue. You've already checked that, and we're going to get in plenty of time for your mechanical schedule.
If we don't delay, we're sitting about 6 weeks out.
Okay, all right, and that works with the rest of with the C of O and all the rest of that? Yes, no? In other words, we're going to get in good time to meet the rest of the schedule, even though we've had this little bump in the road.
We're trying. We're pushing for it.
All right, thank you. I think that's it, Jen. Thank you again, both of you, for everyone.
Anyone else? Okay.
Okay, is there any other discussion? So we have a motion on the floor to accept the change order as presented for $96,175.65 to furnish and install extra HVAC equipment.
Before we take that up, I'm sorry, where's that money coming from now? How are we paying for it?
It's still coming out of our grants.
It is still coming out of our grants. We did, move the PSC bill, which put us in the red because of the $80,000 we didn't know about.
Yeah.
We took it out of the line item of the budget that was specified for the egg park instead of this chunk.
We had a line item in our budget under capital projects for $200,000.
Yeah.
So we expended some of that to pay that PSC bill.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other? I'll call for the question. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none, it passes. So we're on track. It passes. I'll sign this paperwork today, right now, and we can move forward.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for your time, guys.
Yep, take care.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you all for coming in. Sorry to take up
No
your
problem.
evening
Don't
a
forget
little
to
bit.
adjourn you haven't adjourned your meeting yet.
Nope.
I wanted to see you guys anyways before next week.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, no other business. We'll adjourn the meeting at 7:15.
Non-debatable